Hey guys, it's Dr. Spears with drpremed.com. I actually want to talk to you guys about something because my mind is actually blown right now with something that happened. You guys know I'm very passionate about medicine, medical school, helping pre-med students get into medical school and all of that. But I got a lot of interest outside of medicine, and so there's been some projects that I've been working on probably for a couple years or so, and I reached out to one of my mentors because I was struggling with things. I'm like, I'm trying all of this stuff, it's not working. I'm doing research, I'm looking things up, and I'm just not getting the results what that I want or I think where I need to be. And it's just kind of disappointing, not discouraging, but I'm like, I just got to figure this out. Something needs to change, and I really need to work at this to make it happen. And so I told my mentor what was going on. He listened to what I had to say and then immediately said, "This is what you need to do. I'm going to take a look at some things, but if you do X, Y, Z in this order, I can practically guarantee that everything's going to change and you're going to just be moving forward on these projects and you're going to start getting the results that you've been seeking that you want." And so I'm like very excited about that because I just felt like, okay, this isn't working. I don't know what to do. But then just to be able to reach out to somebody who's already ahead of me and where I want to be and get their insight and knowledge and just see how that can change things and make a huge impact on what I'm working on. That's just extremely exciting. I'm really motivated. I want to dig in, get to work on this project, and really start seeing the results. And I also even have metrics I need to start aiming for, what the mentor told me to strive for this, get to this level, and then the next level, and then that. And these are the things that you know if you're moving in the right direction when you start seeing this happening and occurring. So that's exciting. And then you're probably wondering, okay, Dr. Spears, that's good. I'm glad that you're having success in some of your projects, everything like that. But how does that help me as a pre med student? I got news for you guys. I can help you on your goal and your journey of successfully getting into medical school. I can help you with all aspects of being a pre med student, from picking extracurricular activities, writing your personal statement, figuring out how you're going to go about the personal statement, and even some of the students who want to work with me for an extended period of time, up to a year, 2 years or so, preparing for medical school in all aspects of the medical school application process. And what I do is I've been doing this for such a long time that I'm going to blow your mind too. I'm going to take one look at your application, or one, I'm going to ask you a couple questions about your background, see where you're at, see what's going on, and then I can immediately diagnose. I can say, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that, or you shouldn't do this. And I actually hopped in, I got in some DMs with some students who followed me on Instagram or whatever, and I just kind of reached out to them because I always think it's good to kind of reach out to students, offer some free advice, insights, things like that, help them move in the right direction. Because I appreciate you guys following me on social media and all the information putting out for you guys. I do this for you so that you can get to the next level because I know how difficult it is being a pre-med student. You have so many obligations and it's just super, super competitive. Probably a lot more competitive when I was applying to med school, because I know you guys now, you guys all keep track of your like hours of like shadowing and volunteering, and I'm like, that's crazy, that's insane. When I applied to med school, we didn't do that. It wasn't that at that level of competitiveness, but that's just great for you guys that you're on top of that. So I appreciate that. I know that you guys are really working hard and you really want to get to that next level, which is ultimately getting into medical school, having that white coat, having that stethoscope, putting some letters behind your name, going out there, saving patients, learning medicine, being a lifelong learner, and really making a difference for others. And I want to do my job to make that happen for you. I want that to be a reality for you, where you know that, okay, I'm what is it? You think of yourself like you're a diamond in the rough, and you're really thinking, okay, I'm doing these extracurriculars, I'm doing these shadowing. This is what my GPA is. This is the type of MCAT score I'm going for. What else can I be doing? How am I actually going to set myself apart from everybody else who's applying to medical school? Because that's the biggest thing you need to realize, that there's 53,000 other pre-meds who are all vying for the same thing that you want, and that's to get into medical school. but there's only a limited number of seats, as you already know. And statistically speaking, it's just the math and numbers just aren't in your favor, where 60% of first time applicants to medical school, you're going to be rejected. That's just what it is. And so you need to come in competitive, you need to be strong. And if you know that you want to get into medical school, you should certainly reach out to me and look into some of the services that I have available to help you out. Because as one of the late representatives from Congress said, I can teach you what took me 20 years to learn in 5 minutes. Obviously, I haven't been doing this for 20 years or so or anything like that, but you get the gist of that. Use my experience, use my mentorship, and get ahead faster, quicker, more efficiently, and avoid all the pitfalls, common mistakes that a lot of pre-med students are making out there. Because you guys, unfortunately, you guys think you're different, you think you're special. I'm not saying that you're not a special person, but when it comes to your application and what you're putting out there, you guys are doing the same thing that everybody else does. And so you're not standing out that way. You all have the same extracurricular activities. You all have pretty much similar letters of recommendation. Your stats are very comparable. And you really need to find that way that's going to distinguish yourself from everybody else who's applying. And I can help you do that. I really enjoy just ask a series of questions like, okay, this is great. This is the angle that we're going to use with you in your personal statement and then throughout your entire medical school application. And you're going to have a theme to it. It's going to be consistent. And then when you submit your applications, your secondaries, you're going to just follow the process. And then AdComs are going to take a look at your application like, oh, we know exactly what Johnny's bringing to our medical school, or we know what Susie's bringing to our medical school. And so it's basically a no-brainer for AdComs to move forward with your application. Because you got to remember, doctors, AdComs, super busy, have a lot going on, and so you need to make our job as easy as possible. And that means if you do that, you're more likely to get accepted to medical school. And so you can't just go out there and just do a hodgepodge random activities and just go, oh, I'm checking boxes off because I know that's required to get into medical school. That only gets you on the radar. Once you're on the radar, you got to do things to distinguish yourself and separate yourself from everybody else who's applying for medical school. And oftentimes you just don't know what's out there. You can go online, you can find all this information, but it's scatterbrain approach, it's random, it's haphazard, and you don't really know if that's going to work for you or if it's even what AdComs are looking for and what they're seeking of students who are applying to medical school. So I really don't advocate that approach, and obviously, I'll tell you, I've done that with certain things in my life. With some of this project I was telling you initially, I was online, I was looking for stuff, trying to figure it out, and more often than not, I spent more time spinning my wheels and just what is it, being a hamster running on that cage that just goes in circles, doing stuff like that and not getting ahead. And then I'd speak to my mentor who's been where I want to be. And then it's like immediately, okay, oh, wow, that's what I need to do. Just do that, follow this steps and this process. And then I'm most likely to get the results that I want. That's kind of what you want. That's exactly what you want when you're applying to medical school. You guys already put in the time and effort. I don't even know how many hours you spent, like thousands of hours preparing for your pre-med classes, orgochemistry, bio, physics, all of that stuff, taking those exams, probably arguing with professors over a couple points here and there and everything like that, and just all that time spent in lab, and then the hundreds of hours that you spent preparing for the MCAT. And so you put a lot of time and effort into this. I don't even know, like the shadowing, volunteering, all of that stuff. That's just a lot of time. And now when you're this close to applying to medical school, because right now we're about 3 months out from actually applying to medical school, submitting your applications. And so these 90 days can really make all the difference for the rest of your life and the rest of your career. You guys might think, oh, Dr. Spears being a little bit dramatic about that. But no, imagine if you apply and you don't have the fundamentals in place and then you don't get into medical school. What are you going to do? How is that going to affect you? Not only your self-esteem, what are you going to do for the next year? What are you going to do to improve? You're going to already have, what is it, the scarlet mark, scarlet letter, whatever, on your application because you're going to be applicant to medical school, and you're going to just be like in a funk. People are going to ask you, oh, so what are you doing? How's medical school process going? You don't want that to happen to you. So I strongly, highly encourage you to make the most of these next 90 days, 3 months or so. Give it your all, give it everything that you need to do, and you need to reach out to me if you're in the process of applying to medical school this application cycle, because there's a lot that I can share with you to help you actually get to the next level. And maybe you're not applying this cycle to medical school. That's totally fine. You're watching these videos, you're learning from me. That's great, and I applaud you for that. However, you can also reach out to me because I can help you plan ahead so that when you are actually ready to apply, you have everything done in the right manner, the right fashion, and you're going to stand out against everybody else who's applying, because not only are you just doing this, oh, you're not doing it like 90 days in advance, you're doing 1 year, 2 years out compared to everybody else. And with my positioning, I can really get you where you want to be. And so if you want a little bit of mentorship, guidance, coaching, whatever you want to call it, on this journey to be successful and actually getting into medical school and not falling statistic to one of the 60% of people who's going to apply and not get into medical school, then reach out to me, because too often going into this last home stretch when people are trying to get off the wait list of medical school and they just need that one acceptance to change their life, I get emails, I get phone calls from students, from parents saying, Dr. Spears, I don't know what happened. My GPA was above a 3.7, whatever. I mean, above, let's say, the 85th percentile on the MCAT, and I just don't know what happened, why I didn't get into medical school. I'm trying to figure out what my plan B was, because I didn't even have a plan B in the first place, because I never expected to be in this position. Everybody I spoke to told me that I'm qualified, I have the stats, I have the numbers, I have the extracurriculars, and they don't see any reason why I'm not going to get into medical school. Don't let that happen to you. You guys, we have this coronavirus going on right now. You're going to be home. You're not in school, whatever. Reach out. Let's really get to work and make a difference on what you can be doing over this time away to really plan, strategize, and make sure you're in the best position to be that applicant that ad comes look at. They go, you know what? This is a no-brainer decision. We want this person in our incoming medical school class because we see what they're going to do for our school, and we see what they can potentially do for the field of medicine throughout their career, and so we want to move forward with them. And it's a process, it's a journey, there's ups and downs, but I can help smooth out the road and kind of put your pre-med years on autopilot. But if you're getting ready to apply this year, definitely reach out to me, because I have some programs, I have personal statement editing services available to you, even MCAT prep, because I know a lot of people stress out about that. So I'm just saying, now's the time to get on board, to really put the investment and use this opportunity to get ahead and make sure that you have your positively unfair advantage when it comes to applying to medical school and actually getting in, and I can help you with that. So this is Dr. Spears. You know, you can find me at drpremed.com and all the social medias. I'm all over the place. So I look forward to hearing from you. Just reach out, say hello, whatever you want to do. And again, thanks, take care, and enjoy.